Hello! Magandang gabi. Welcome to Gusi Talks. And yes, of course, all the way from Sydney, Australia, I am 𝗟𝗏𝗡𝗄, your host for tonight. And we will give you one of beauty queens. And she is a current candidate for the Miss Earth Philippines. At yan, bago natin siya ipakilala mamaya, tayo po muna ay kaunting balik-taktakan, kwentuhan at kung ano-ano pa sa ating segment ngayong gabi. Dahil ako'y binigyan ng trabaho ng Gusi Talks. Okay? Now, here in Australia, it's lockdown. 3 weeks lockdown at medyo wala po kaming ginagawa sa ngayon dahil maraming do's and don'ts. Maraming bawal, syempre ang mga tao ay hindi naman po lahat vaccinated. That's why nagkaroon uli ng changes dito sa katayuan at status ng lugar ng Sydney, Australia. Okay. So, tonight, marami po tayong pag-uusapan tungkol sa ating pageant critics, pageant reviews, and yes, congratulations to the Binibining Pilipinas for the successful event last night at congratulations sa mga bagong binibini na nanalo kagabi kagaya ni Miss Hannah Arnold. She is now the current Miss Binibining Pilipinas International 2021 and she's going to compete in the international for hoping na ay mag-uwi ulit ng panibagong crown para sa Miss International this year. And yes, of course, andyan si 𝗦𝘆𝗱𝗘 na syempre nanalo din, nakakuha ng Binibining Pilipinas Globe Philippines 2021. At syempre doon sa iba natin na mga sinusuporta ang mga binibinis, kagaya ni sino ba to? Marami akong sinusuportahan kaso siguro maybe better luck next time. Hindi naman na katapusan or end of your career na hindi ka nakapasok sa top 20, top 10 hanggang top 5 ay hindi ka na pwedeng sumali ulit. Try again for the next time. Yan ang sabi nga ni Miss Pia Wurzbach, ang ating Miss Universe. At syempre, hindi natin makakalimutan ang ating favorite na si Miss Catriona Gray, the Miss Universe 2018, which giving her the best MC last night. She hosting Binibining Pilipinas sa 𝗟𝗏𝗘𝗃 at maraming mga kagaya ko na pageant bloggers and pageant enthusiasts na na-amaze at natuwa sa kanyang arrival sa natapos na Binibining Pilipinas kagabi. And yes, of course, I would like to thank the following media partners ng ating upcoming Mr. Glam International. Yes, we're ongoing now, the Mr. Glam International. And yes, of course, I would like to thank the media partners who supported the Mr. Glam International. Yes, of course, andyan ang Kabil Queens, Close Trium, na napakasipag mag-post ng tumulong sa ating mga Mr. And yes, of course, andyan ang eventology ni Mr. Ferdinand Abidjon. And syempre, andyan din ang Malaysian pageant, so always supporting their candidates, representative from Malaysia. And yes, of course, marami pang iba. Andyan ang Mundo Miss and Mr. Official all the way from Mexico. And syempre, ang what's this? The pageant crowns, which is based in Indonesia. So worldwide media platform and media bloggers who always supporting this exciting and extravagant, fabulous, handsome Mr. Glam International. And I wish this year ay masurpass natin ang pangalawang event ng international ng Mr. Glam under Primo Modelo Philippines and Glam Pageant Organization. And yes, of course, good evening to Mr. Januel Ramos. Good evening. Sabi niya, naalala ko nung nasa high school days, magaling at matalino na talaga si Sophia. So she will win the crown. Wow! Janol Ramos, I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for Sophia. And yes, of course, this is an opportunity for me as well to interview one of the exciting and promising Binibini who is currently candidate for the Miss Earth Philippines at siya ay representative ng Tanay Rizal or buong Rizalino. And yes, sana I wish na ang lahat ng mga taga Rizal, including Antipolo, Tanay, Yaan, ay suportahan ang ating kandidata na kumakatawan ng Rizal. Ayan, si Miss Sophia Galvez. At mamaya malalaman natin sino ba si Miss Sophia Galvez. Okay? So, bago ang lahat, bago natin palabasin sa ating screen si Miss Sophia Galvez, ako ay nagpapasalamat sa aking sponsors dito sa Australia. Siyempre nagulat kayo bakit andito ako sa Australia at nagbabloging. Nauso po ang pagbablog since nag-emerge ang Facebook. At now, I am very active as well sa Instagram. And my blog, Gusi Talks, is gaining well of a lot of supporters and likers dahil thank you so much dahil na nagustuhan ninyo ang aking mga postings every day at syempre naman ang ating mga sinusuportahang mga beauty queens and beauty kings na who wanted to be part of the pageantry in the world ay makilala. So, kung wala tayong mga vloggers, mga media vloggers, mga pageant vloggers, wala din sila kasi sino ba ang magpo-promote sa kanila? Siyempre, sa ngayon, kailangan natin na makilala sa social media para makapasok tayo sa ating minimithing corona at titulo. Okay? So, before anything else, I would like to thank my sponsors here in Australia and sa aking mga sumusubaybay na mga kaibigan dito sa Gusi Talks. Thank you so much for giving me a chance again na ma-share ko ang aking mga ideas at mga katanungan sa ating mga ini-interview every night. Thank you so much as well to my co-host, Miss Mia Gusi, for giving a wonderful interview doon sa mga hari ng Pilipinas sa candidate. Ako ay natuwa. I've been watching for their interviews at natuwa naman ako dahil maraming interactions. I think they were really prepared. So, sana suportahan natin ang hari ng Pilipinas at maging marka sa Pilipinas na aside sa ibang male pageant, no, local pageant or national pageant, suportahan natin itong bagong pageant na to na under ni the 𝗦𝗍𝗆𝗃. At syempre, kung tatanungin ninyo, ang 𝗦𝗍𝗆𝗃 ay ating long-term partners as well para sa Mr. Glam International Middle East at Philippines. Ayan. They are sending 3 candidate every year sa ating Mr. Glam International and sa Miss Glamour Look International. They also give us a representative coming from the overseas in the Middle East. And syempre, ang Mr. Glam, bago lang po ito. This is our second inaugural pageant and event. And we were surprised with our organization dahil kinagat po siya even dito sa virtual pageant. Medyo mainit siya. Mainit ang dating at of course, from 12 candidates for the inaugural, meron po kaming 40 countries and 40 handsome candidates from different countries dito sa Mr. Glam International. Okay? So, pasensya na kayo at medyo ako'y nabubulol dahil sa hindi bukas po ay may interview naman tayo na isang beauty queen from Canada and she is the current first runner-up ng Miss World Canada. And syempre, she's a Canadian, so we need to speak, we used to speak English as well. Yan po ang maganda sa Gusi Talks because we interviewed a lot of beauty kings and queens from all over the world who wanted to expose their skills and talents, especially when it comes to interview, hosting, and syempre, we want them to know more about them as well. Ano ba ang kanilang aim about their life? How's their lifestyle, their personal lifestyle, their job, and you know. Okay, so before we go on, we'll be right back for a few reminders. Welcome back to Gusi Talks, all the way from Sydney, Australia. I'm 𝗍𝗵𝗡. Thank you so much again. Once again, andito na naman ako. And syempre, we have a very interesting personality tonight, which is she's a currently candidate of Miss Earth Philippines and representing Tanay Rizal. And yes, of course, before anything else, I would like to plug our upcoming event, international event. Take note, the 𝗟𝗡𝗏 International, the second edition. And yes, of course, right now we have 40 currently candidates from different countries. And we have this Latin Americas, Africas, and yes, of course, Asians. So, medyo kompleto na po ang aming continent pagdating dito sa 𝗟𝗡𝗏. And I wish it's getting more bigger. And we're hoping next year, 2022, we do it in actual, it times, and pandemic is already fine. Now, also, I would like to thank all the media bloggers and media enthusiasts who always supporting our candidates and delegates from different countries like Caval Queens, the pageant holders, of course, the Malaysian pageants, the Mr. Crown, the 𝗟𝗡𝗡, yes, of course, the Mr. and the Mundo Mr. and Miss Official from based in Mexico, the Crown Fighters from Indonesia, and the Malaysian pageants from yes, of course, Malaysia as well. And thank you all also the pageant holders for always giving us the update of our currently Facebook page, no, social media popularity, and they are doing well. And please don't forget to visit the official page of 𝗟𝗡𝗏 International and Facebook page, and yes, of course, in Instagram. And please don't forget as well the Twitter. And yes, shout out to Mr. NJ Garcia Solar Sapia. Thank you so much for watching tonight. Yes, inaabangan na nila si Sophia. And syempre ako excited na rin. And thank you so much as well to JM Pageantry Innovations for always supporting us. And yes, good evening, Madam JM. And yes, Ayan, maraming naghihintay ngayong gabi sa ating beauty queens. At syempre, aalamin natin sino pa si Miss Sophia Galvez. Ako kasi Galvez ako ng Galvez. And when I read her profile in Facebook, Galvez pala without the Z. So, I am really excited na makapanayam ko siya ngayong gabi. At syempre, at titingnan natin ano ba ang kanyang mai-offer, ano ba ang kanyang maipapakita sa larangan ng pageantry at sino ba talaga si Miss Sophia Galvez. Okay, so now meron pa rin po akong ipa-plug this coming November 14 here in Australia. We're doing an actual event of Miss Glamour Look Australia, and I wish magtuloy-tuloy because right now we are on lockdown for 3 weeks, and we're hoping na ma-ease na ang lockdown this week. And ako'y medyo nangihina nga because I stay at home. That's why Mia gave me this job tonight to interview one of the promising beauty queen, Miss Sophia Galvez. At syempre, Miss MJ Sapla, thank you so much. Hello as well. Ayan. At to Miss Sinaida Galvez, thank you. And Naomi, thank you for watching tonight. Abangan niyo si Sophia. Syempre, hindi muna natin siya ilalabas, no? At syempre, ipa-plug ko rin ang upcoming event namin next year, ang most awaited Miss Glamour Look International. Ayan, syempre, inaabangan. Ayaw ng mga national directors to hold a virtual event. They wanted a live or actual. Syempre, mas exciting kasi pag actual ang pageant. Kasi you can judge them, you can see them how they perform on stage, especially in their catwalk. And yes, of course, how they deliver their self wearing this fabulous, sexy evening gown. At syempre, ang pinaka-aabangan ng mga tao, syempre, yung question and answer portions. Meron nga nabasa ako na medyo nagreklamo ang isa sa handle ng Iloilo dahil nga medyo nalito daw sa questions ng the king of talk of show ng si Mr. Boy Abunda. Dahil nga, syempre, you need to answer that quickly within 30 seconds. So, syempre, doon natin malalaman how sharp the memory, how is intelligent the model. At syempre, ayun. Syempre, nakakatuwa naman dahil may mga expected akong nanalo at unexpected na nanalo. At yung mga niruruting ko rin naman sa Binibining Pilipinas na pinopromote ko sa aking pageant vlog ng Gusi Talks ay hindi nakapasok. Pero okay lang yan. Huwag kayong paghinaan ng loob. Huwag kayong mawala ng gana na ipagpatuloy ang pagpapageant. Ituloy-tuloy nyo lang yan at dahil yung first attempt kasi hindi naman lahat nagiging successful. But if you're doing your best for the next time, malay mo, who knows? Like the current Binibining Pilipinas International, Hannah Arnold. Siyempre, di ba, simplang din siya before, but now, she did make it. Ay, she won. Ayan. Kaya, sa ating mga beauty queens dyan, na nangangarap na maging full-fledged o magkaroon talaga ng totoong title, huwag mawawalan ng pag-asa. Okay? Shout out palagi. Shout out sa mga nanonood ngayong gabi kay John, medyo malayo, hindi ko nababasa. John Brian Abitria. Yan. Question and answer ang kanyang favorite. Ako din. John ko rin malalaman ang mga kandidata kung talagang para ba sa kanya ang titulo o hindi. Kasi if you can see, every beauty queen are already rehearsed. Second, lahat magaganda yan. Wala kang hahanapin pang iba. kahit anong isuot nila dyan, kahit hindi talaga sikat na designer, as long as they can carry themselves, lahat, they are already beautiful. Magkakaalaman lang dyan sa question and answer talaga, di ba? Especially, yes, sa swimsuit competition, lahat yan on fire. Tama ka dyan, Mr. John Will Ramos. Lahat ng mga candidate talaga, dyan makikita kung sino ba talaga ang magiging pinaka title holder or pinaka-queen. Okay? So, lahat yan inaabangan. So, ang next event naman, national pageant sa Pilipinas ay Miss World and Miss Earth Philippines. So, ayan, aabangan natin. Actually, I started promoting some models or some candidates from Miss World Philippines. Isa na dyan si Joy Barcoma. Ayan, sino pa ba? I have one, and then sa Miss Earth naman, eto si Sophia, syempre, dahil in-interview natin. And would you believe, last year, na-interview din namin si Miss Roxy Baez, the Miss Earth, the current Miss Earth Philippines. At nanalo siya. So, kumbaga, makadaupang palad mo itong mga beauty queens na to at ma-share nila yung kanilang mga inputs, mga thoughts, ideas, and knowledge. Parang it's an honor and privilege na nakausap mo sila na interview. Parang once in a lifetime na achievement yan eh. At ako'y dahil because I'm getting older, parang ano ko na yan, achievement din. So, yun. And I wish some of the beauty queens ay magtuloy-tuloy pa rin kahit hindi pumasok sa top 20 at top 10 last night ng Binibining Pilipinas. And yes, of course, meron pang ino-offer ang Glam Pageant Organization. Pero mamaya ko na chichikahin after my few reminders. Okay, welcome back to Gusi Talk. And yes, of course, don't forget my name. I'm 𝗟𝗓𝗏 and syempre, ibibigay natin ngayong gabi ang ating exciting, beautiful queens and binibinis na the current candidate of Miss Earth Philippines representing Tanay Rizal. Please welcome on screen, Miss Sophia Galbe.
Hello, Direk Primo. Nice to meet you po.
Hi, Sophia. Nice to see you on screen. You look so beautiful.
Thank you po. Thank you so much. And good evening to all of our viewers. Hi.
Ay, maraming nag-aabang sa iyo ngayong gabi at syempre ako excited din na makita at makausap ka. Siguro nagulat ka, hindi iba ang kasi dalawa kami dito nag-host ng aming media platform and great and honor na ma-interview kita ngayong gabi. So, sino ba si Sophia Galve? Would you like to introduce yourself para makilala tayo ng mga followers natin and supporters tonight? Okay.
Yes, of course, Direct. Thank you so much for the opportunity to introduce myself again. Hello to our viewers. I am 𝗚𝗶𝗆𝗆, the representative of 𝗚𝗨𝗏 to Miss Philippines Earth 2021. So I am currently the Chief Operating Officer of 𝗘𝗵𝗀 Park. So that is my eco project that is based in Barangay Quiabu, my barangay in Tanay. And aside from that, I was formerly an internationally published author. So I used to write a lot for tech startups here in the Philippines, across the Asia, and I also had some write-ups in Europe and the US. And I also actually contributed to a US published book before. And aside from those, I am studying speech communication at the University of the Philippines, Diliman. So I am an ISKA. And speaking of Scholar ng Bayan, I welcome the new scholars ng bayan na i-announce this July 15. Sana yung kapatid ko kasama sa kanila. So aside from those, what else? I actually used to be a financial advisor. That's one of the facts that I keep forgetting to mention before, but it's an interesting fact about me. I used to be a financial advisor, an insurance agent, and I still advocate for financial literacy and inclusion here in the Philippines. But now in Miss Philippines Earth, my focus, my goal is to really get the proper recognition for the IPs or the indigenous peoples in Barangay Quiabu because they are the frontliners for environmental protection. So that's Sophia, and I hope you guys could know more about me during the my journey in MPE.
Wow, that's a very, very great introduction, Sophia, and I was really amazed. And you are from UP. Wow, mapapasubo ko
Yes.
ngayon. You know, nagulat ako because you're a financial advisor and are you an accountant by profession?
No po. I used to be a life insurance agent. So
Oh,
I
okay.
used to do financial planning for personal financial planning for individuals.
All right, because I saw you've been picked for as a top 10 candidate of the Miss Philippines Earth, and one of the pageant blog as well. They pick you as one of the top 5 and top 7, and I was surprised because syempre, I did a little bit of research with you. Actually, before I don't do research with the beauty queens the ini-interview ko kasi this is what my strategy is an up close and personal. So it's up to you then to tell to everyone who is Sophia Galvez.
Yes.
And how does it feels leading different careers because napapunta ka sa ibang career. You're focusing on being a beauty queen now.
Yes, I think po it's because of my natural curiosity that I am able to shift from one perspective to another. So I actually just in college I originally studied political science before I shifted to speech communication. So I think I'm just a naturally curious person. And so when I think that something is worthwhile to pursue, I do really go for it. For example, when I was younger, I think I was 20 at the time when I became a financial advisor. It really dawned on me that the Philippines is lacking in financial literacy. And so I wanted to become part of the force that educates my fellow Filipinos. And then after that, that is when I became a writer. So I guess it really is about the natural curiosity that I have. That's why I came from one career to another. But one thing actually remains constant about me, and it is my passion for beauty pageants because I've been doing this since I was 17 years old, and now I'm 24. So it's been quite a long time that I've been doing this. And yeah, I think this is one of the most relevant passions for me because I am able to speak out and make my voice heard to a lot of Filipinos.
Wow. 24 is still young. Don't you know, wag magpadali. You still
Yes
have
po.
ample of times to, to achieve your dreams. And
Yes.
when does Miss Earth Philippines will take place?
So currently we have a lot of virtual events, but our
Mm.
coronation will be on August 8th at 10 a.m. That will be available on the 𝗍𝗶𝗍𝗘 channel and on our YouTube and Facebook pages, I guess.
Wow, in 3 weeks' time. So, how do
Yes.
you prepare yourself during this activities of the Miss
Yes
Philippines Earth?
po. Thank you for that question po because, alam natin yung nangyaring Q&A and BBP, yung controversial na
Yes.
tanong ni Tito Boy Abunda. So
Yeah.
definitely, one of the many things that I am preparing for is the Q&A segment or the intelligence round as Miss Philippines Earth
Yeah.
calls it.
Mm-hmm.
My batch will be airing on Sunday. That is July 18th. That is our intelligence round. That is one of the many things that I really am preparing for because as an earth warrior, it's not enough to be speaking motherhood statements, for example, about hope,
Mm-hmm.
about reversing the effects of climate change. I don't want to be the kind of beauty queen who just gives out motherhood statements. What I want to be a substantial woman who will be able to answer the questions of our judges with humility and actual information. I want to be as informative and educative as possible, as I always do with my interviews. So I hope my fans can see that. But yeah, definitely in the Q&A, the intelligence round is one of the things that I am preparing for. Aside from that, of course, for the swimsuit round, for example, we had the fitness form employees judging last Sunday. I also prepared for that by getting enough exercise every day. But I don't usually do diets because I have low blood pressure. I'm almost anemic. So I really
Mm.
cannot do dieting too much, but I compensate for that through our vigorous physical activities. Like for example, hiking in Tanay. That's one of the many things that I do. Aside from those, the preparation that I do is with my core team, my makeup artist and my designer. Si Mami Shai ang ating makeup artist and si Tito Alvin, my designer. We always talk about what kind of pasabog we will be
Mm-hmm.
doing for
Mm-hmm.
each event.
Wow,
So
exciting, huh?
yes, yes po,
Mm-hmm.
that's true. Kasi in a virtual pageant, it's really unpredictable what your co-candidates will be doing because
Yep.
'di ba po kasi in a physical pageant, pag nasa backstage kayo, you can already see what they are wearing. Tapos
Yes,
minsan, yung
yes.
iba nagpa-practice pa backstage, you can already
Yes.
anticipate what they're gonna be doing on stage, for example, with their gowns. So, you can still prepare for it.
Yeah.
But in a virtual pageant, you don't really have that kind of advantage. So, what we do is we just think of ways to be unique, to be able to stand out. And thankfully, the pageant media are recognizing us for that and they are loving the efforts of my team.
Wow, talaga naman. As I heard upon, you know, you are already prepared. As in prepared na prepared talaga. I have a lot of questions from you, but we will be right back for a short message, okay?
Okay.
Once again, welcome back at Gusi Talk. And yes, of course, I have a lot of questions to our beauty queen tonight. And yes, siyempre si Miss Sophia. And this is what I love with Miss Earth Philippines. Lahat sila ay may pasabog at lahat ay makuda. Ayan ay sabi ni Miss Mia. Okay? So, please welcome back Miss Sophia. Okay?
Hi.
Hi, welcome back. As a woman of the earth, I'm pretty sure you have this advocacy as well. It's the same thing with the other Miss Earth candidate. Kasi I
Opo.
used to interview some of the Miss Earth for the past years at lahat
Mm.
yan ay ang advocacy nila ay syempre Mother Earth, Mother Nature,
Opo.
Eco Angel. So it's still the same thing with you. Can you please share with us about your advocacy as well?
Sure, Direct. Thank you for that. My advocacy is what I call ecopreneurship. So it's ecological. It's the ecological type of entrepreneurship. I want to be able to inspire a lot of young entrepreneurs in the Philippines to become more ecologically involved with their business systems because a lot of the businesses right now are going digital, but I think that with proper education, I believe that we can turn all of our businesses into ecopreneurship. So for me, my focus on ecopreneurship is my eco project in Barangay Cayabutanay. That is the 𝗠𝗏𝗏𝗃 Eco Park. So what I plan to do there, so we're already in talks with the DENR, for example, to protect the area management board and of course the IPs, the indigenous peoples of our barangay. What we plan to do in the 𝗠𝗏𝗏𝗃 Eco Park is to be able to create a circular economy, as we would call it. So a circular economy basically is an economy that can sustain the livelihood of the people as well as of the LGU and of course as a business entity. So, for example, a lot of our tourists will for sure be creating biodegradable wastes. So, for example, they will be having food leftovers, banana peelings, for example, or excess water, excess juice, for example. So the biodegradable waste from them, we will be using those and we will be putting them in a vermicomposting pit. Basically, that's a composting pit with worms. So the worms will be digesting those biodegradable wastes and then they will turn it into fertilizers. So the fertilizers, we will be using that for the greenhouse that we are creating for the indigenous people. So we will not be managing the greenhouse ourselves. We are giving the power over to the indigenous peoples to produce their own crops. And since we will be having a mini restaurant in our eco park, one of the things that we will do is the farm to table thing, where we will purchase the crops from our indigenous people. So basically, they will be able to profit from the greenhouse without putting any capital
You
into
mean
it.
Sophia, you mean the mini restaurant and that eco park is located in your area as well in Tanay?
Yes po. Yes po. We will be starting construction, I guess, in a couple of months after we get the proper permits from the ENR. But yes, we plan on, so it's basically a glamping resort po actually. So
Mm-hmm.
if you know the glamping domes, for example, in Batangas, we also have those kinds of domes in our eco park, and we also have this what we call well, I will not reveal it yet, but we have a special kind of tent that has not yet been seen here in the Philippines. So basically, it's a glamping resort, and we also wanted to put up a mini restaurant inside. And so I guess, yeah. So one of the things that we saw on how we can help our community there is to give them a greenhouse, and we can buy off the crops from them. So you'll be getting fresh food, but at the same time, when you buy fresh food from our mini restaurant, you will also be helping the indigenous peoples. So
Wow.
that's the kind of circular
Ang galing,
economy
ang
that we're
galing.
trying to
You know,
create.
ang galing ng iyong advocacy. Tsaka, kung marami naman ang makikinabang, right? Because,
Opo.
it's time for us, especially in the Philippines, because we have a lot of population. So, kailangan natin ng ibang, especially yung mga local government,
Opo.
they need this. Like you,
Mm-hmm.
na nag-i-impose, nag-i-implement, merong mga subject o mga projects na para sa livelihood program ng community. That's what
Yes.
I love it, and that's what I like it. I wish the government will support you as well, or other local government or the non-government
Organizations.
organization.
Opo.
I have a lot of questions to you, pero nabanggit mo na lahat. But this one, okay guys, those to all our viewers who would like to have a questions, just drop and I will gonna read it for Sophia.
Ooh.
But Sophia, I have one questions for you.
Okay.
This is for you. What is the greatest thing you ever done so far as a woman and as a human being as you, at your age?
Mhm. I think one of the greatest achievements for myself as a woman is that I have been able to be active in civic works and in civic activities. So, for example, last year during the Typhoon Ulysses, which really devastated my previous town in Montalban, I was able to help a lot of my kababayans. I didn't actually post a lot about this. I just posted accountability statements for the benefit of my benefactors. But I'm saying this now because I think that has been one of the greatest achievements of my life, to be able to connect a lot of different people who are willing to help, and really connect them to the people who are needing those kinds of help. And I'm saying this as well, I am publicizing this as well because I want to be able to inspire a lot of people who are in my age, who have the capacity, the capability, the network even, to be able to make these kinds of civic activities. So, a lot of our fellow Filipinos are really struggling, especially during this pandemic. And we also have a lot of natural disasters coming our way. And I
Mhm.
believe that if we just look into ourselves, into what we can do for them, I believe that we can really provide the Philippines, our country, a better future.
Wow naman, ang galing. I'm rooting you for the next politician in Tanay. You're a very good conversationalist and you're a very good speaker. Actually,
Thank you po.
nakuku I pick a lot of words coming from you and uh, if might asking,
Mm.
is this the first pageant that you joined, the Miss Earth Philippines, or way back do you have other pageant that you've been joined before?
Mhm. Yes po, I joined a lot of pageants na actually. So I started when I was 17. I'm just not sure um kung pangilan na pageant nito. I'm not really sure. I think it's my 10th now for because I started when I was 17. I started in the barangay level. So I really started from the bottom of the ladder, and then I just climbed my way up to the nationals, and thank God I had the courage to really pursue Miss Philippines Earth this year. Pero yes po, I
Wow.
already have experience na in
Same
pageant.
thing with Miss Universe. Was this Pia back,
Ah,
right?
yes.
Yeah, she started from, barangays,
Opo.
modeling contest, yung mga maliliit na contest. And then, dun she molded herself to be, what she's now.
That's
Hindi yun,
true.
as a beauty queen, it's not that really easy to get a title. Talagang pinaghihirapan. And I'm rooting for
That's true.
you. I salute with those kind of attitude, yung positive mind, positive outlook that never give up. You know what? In Binibining Pilipinas, if you watch them, some of the candidates, they've been joining them many, many times. And they are
That's
not,
true.
stopping of joining, because they are hoping one day or someday they will get this title that they are aiming for. Okay, so just like the same thing with you, as you did mention nga, I wish that being one of the candidates of the Miss Earth Philippines ay matupad mo rin. Kasi they are
Thank you po.
having a 5 winners, right?
Yes po. Five titles po and then five runners up.
Wow! Oh, see? And sana, I wish, sabi nga ng mga Chinese, don't use sana, wish that your dreams will come true. Pero hindi pa tayo nagtatapos, Sophia. Okay? Dahil ang ating mga followers and supporters, they are waiting for more. Who is
Wow.
Miss Sophia Galvez? And another questions coming from me, you have a very strong empowerment vibes in all you do. How do you think you can contribute to the women society?
Mhm.
Aside from dun sa sinabi mo kanina that you are on this, on your advocacy. Do you have other plans for the coming future? And what are those other contributions that you are planning?
Thank you for that, Direct. So I guess as a woman, I want to be able to empower other women by just being here. Just the presence of another woman succeeding in a field. I think that's a very powerful statement enough for all the Filipinas out there. I believe that my presence, not just in social media, but of course in traditional media, for example, I think that already has a big impact on what women perceive they will be able to achieve it if they just really put their minds into it. And one of the many things that I really am hoping for is to be able to publish more articles in the future that are related to a lot of my advocacies that I am doing as of the moment. Because before I used to write for digital or startups, tech startups, for example. But in the future, I really want to be able to publish a lot of my articles that are about women empowerment, for example, and of course, environmental protection. And in fact, I have been meaning to enter into a competition that is about the ASEAN. I think it's for ASEAN youth leaders. I will be sending them a proposal very soon. I hope in a week I will be able to send them a proposal. But basically, that competition is for young entrepreneurs like myself. And in entering competitions like that, I hope to be able to inspire a lot more women to think and know that they can really do more with their lives.
Wow, naman. You know what? I'm very amazed about your advocacy, about your point of view in life, your future plans. Alam mo, hindi lahat ng kabataan is just like you. At I am very happy na nakakadaupang palad ko. I use very, very much Tagalog. We are on the same place. We're on the same area. Way back in the Philippines, I live in Antipolo, and I used to go to Tanay. I drive from Antipolo to Tanay. That's my my hobby, to drive going to Tanay, Rizal. Kasi I love the trees. I love the yung taniman, the rice fields. Yeah, I love medyo province pa siya because I've been suffocated on the city. And I have being a 𝗧𝗶𝗆 I know you said a lot kasi nga you are already prepared. During your younger years, ikaw ba ay nung bata pa nangarap ka na talaga maging isang title holder or beauty queen? Like, kasi nung hindi pa sikat ang Miss Earth Philippines, Miss Philippines lang talaga, Binibining Pilipinas. Do you have plans of joining the Binibining Pilipinas as well?
Nung bata po ako, I think my earliest awakening about beauty pageants is the Little Miss Philippines in Itbulaga.
Okay. Which Isa Siguera's coming from,
Yes po, I actually wanted to join that. Pero medyo mahihayin po kasi ako ng bata ko. So I never really envisioned myself as a beauty queen. I just thought of wanting to join these kinds of competitions. But when I was a kid po kasi, I was more focused on my studies. I have been competing in quiz bees, for example, press conferences, journalism activities. I was more involved in those than in beauty pageants or modeling per se. So I wasn't really expecting to be in this kind of arena. But yes, I think I did have a little bit of inkling because of Little Miss Philippines.
Wow. Okay, Sophia, marami pa tayong chikahan after few reminders. So stay tuned, okay? welcome back at Gusi Talks at medyo umiinit ang ating talakayan at balitaktakan with Miss Earth Philippines Tanay Rizal Sophia Galvez. And now, let's welcome back Miss Sophia dahil magkakaroon tayo ng interaction sa ating mga netizens kasi meron silang mga questions. Okay? So, sabi nga nila, hindi lahat daw ng sumasali sa beauty contest ay prepared. Lahat yan magaganda, which is I agree with that. Lahat yan magaganda. Ang malalaman mo lang talaga kung sinong pinaka-the best yan pagdating na sa question and answer portion. Kaya ngayong gabi, meron tayong from our netizens. Si John Brian ay merong katanungan sa'yo. What is one big mistake that you've done in your life and what did you to make it right? According to John, maybe you can answer that, Sophia.
Sure. So, John, this is my answer for you. I think one of the biggest mistakes that I've ever done in my life, it's not something tangible, but it's something that is actually intangible to myself. It is doubting myself, doubting that I can ever really achieve anything substantial. I've always felt like an imposter. If you're familiar with the imposter syndrome, I've always felt like a lot of my achievements are because I'm a fraud, but I'm not. I've always doubted myself, but I shouldn't have. I should have always believed in myself, and I only learned about that when I really delved into beauty pageants. You know, my co-candidates, my queen sisters, they really taught me how to love myself, how to affirm myself as a person. I think that is one of the things that I did to really make that right, to erase the doubts on myself. I just taught myself how to love and respect myself even more.
Yeah, you heard that, John. Self-confidence and doubtness in self, kailangan mawala, tanggalin yan. It's only in your mind, okay? So we still have another more from Januel. Januel Ramos. This is his question to you, Sophia. Who or what is the biggest enemy of Mother Earth and why? Questions coming from Miss Earth 2017, 𝗟𝗏𝗡 win from the Philippines. Ayan, Sophia. You can answer from Januel questions.
Who is the biggest enemy? It's humanity. It's really the humans that has been destroying the earth for a long time. If you have heard of the term Anthropocene, it's the time when when we humans have made the most significant impact in our environment. That is the time when we started really destroying our environment. I guess the term Anthropocene already tells you that it is us. It is our fault why the world is experiencing climate change, for example, currently. And yes, so in terms of the what, I think climate change still is the biggest enemy of the earth, and that is actually caused by the apathy of humanity towards the environment. So I guess one of the many things that we can do to protect our earth and reverse the effects of climate change really is to become more involved in our environment, you know, to be really willing to learn and unlearn habits and be present for our Mother Earth. Thank you.
Wow, that's a very, very good answer. Remember that, John, the biggest enemy of the Mother Earth is us, we human. That's why right now, let's start, focusing, conserving the Mother Earth, protect the plants, animals, protect us, protect everything. Alam mo, nalulungkot ako. I was very sad if that yung may mga punong pinuputol, especially on the highway. I was, galit ako dyan. I am really, really, I have a bad temper when it comes to that. Meron ng isang occasion na when I'm driving going to the Tanay, going to 𝗍𝗍𝗆 Laguna, there is a big tree. I think the tree is very, very old and they are chopping down.
Oh, no.
I stop and then pinagtatanong ko yung mga tao. I'm not afraid that they have this malalaking, itak and the
Mm-hmm.
hacksaw. I'm not afraid. Sabi ko, why you're cutting those trees? Those trees, I think this is 1,000 years na
Yeah.
andyan lang. Bakit yung puputulin?
Mm-mm.
You know what? Ako hindi talaga. I'm not agreeable na pinuputol ang mga puno.
Mm-mm.
We need, I think we need to start planting trees to,
That's true.
kasi
That's true, Derek.
as you observed sa Pilipinas, sa atin, marami ng mga subdivisions, marami ng mga
Mm.
buildings and
Mm.
condominiums na nagtayuan, which is our economy is growing, but
Mm.
our
Tama.
agriculture is
Suffering.
suffering, and it's very sad. That's why I'm rooting for Miss Earth organization, because andun sila, they are focusing on the welfare of the mother nature, of the mother earth, and I'm happy. Same thing with you, because you are the eco angel, eco warrior. You are pinaglalaban mo ang ano ng
Mm.
mother nature. Alam mo, maraming mga tourist spot, yung mga reserve places dyan sa Rizal. I've been there, I've been driving there. May mga big farms pa dyan, may mga big lots, mountains and
Mm.
everything. Ako, I'm happy to go there kasi makikita mo pa rin yung mother nature na
Yes.
naka-preserve talaga. Not unlike dito sa malapit sa Manila area, wala na talaga. So I am very sad. So okay, I have a very good answer coming from you, and there's another one questions from Miss NJ Sapla. How can we protect the environment and at the same time improve people's standard of living? Medyo
Mm.
complicated yung kanyang question, Sophia, ha. Siyempre, hindi pwedeng mapoproteksyonan yung environment. Yung kagaya ko nga, nasabi ko sa you a while ago na pinuputol yung puno because may itatayong
Mm.
infrastructures,
Yes.
or
Yes.
so paano natin yan maa-avoid? Can you please
Mm-mm.
answer NJ Sapla's questions?
Sure. My answer to that is my advocacy ecopreneurship. That is one of the many ways that you can protect the environment while also raising the standard for living for your people. So my prime example for that is my own barangay in 𝗏𝗏𝗘 because we have been implementing a lot of developments, but these developments are very minimal in terms of environmental impact, and that is why we are still able to uplift the standard of living, especially for the indigenous peoples. I mean, the head of the IPMR actually told me in person that they really improved their living, their livelihoods, for example, because the LGU there is supporting developments, but the kind of developments that they are supporting are the ones that really has very minimal environmental impact. And that is what ecopreneurship really means. It's the kind of development that balances between infrastructure as well as environmental protection.
Wow naman. Ayan, mga pageant enthusiasts, mga bloggers, mga pageant followers and supporters. Ayan, wag yung paghahawakin ng microphone si Sophia. Okay? At mauubusan ng answer ang magtatanong. Okay? But you know what? I'm just joking. Your point of view is relevant nowadays kasi kailangan talaga natin yung mga ganyang mga point yung
Opo.
perspective sa buhay. Alam mo na, nabubulol ako kasi halo-halo yung
Alam
salita
po
ko.
yan.
Okay. Meron pa tayong isang questions galing kay Mr. 𝗟𝗏𝗡𝗏. At I think after this one, magbe-break muna tayo kasi baka maubusan ka ng, energy. So, if you have no choice, but you are obliged to choose, what will you choose? That's coming from John. Okay?
I believe that everyone always has a choice. There's no such thing as having no choice at all. Because, for example, when you're tired, when you feel like you don't have the motivation to work or get up in the morning and be out there, I think the opposite of that, resting, is also a choice. not doing anything is also a choice. That's also a choice for you to make. And so I believe that in every situation, do not believe that there is no choice, because the control is yours, the free will is yours, and just take advantage of that free will that you have.
Wow naman. I have another questions for you. Ayan, dyan ha, nasagot ni Sophia at sagot na sagot na niya yan. I
Fun
hope,
fact, direct fun fact, kasi that was the very first question that was asked to me in my first pageant ever when I was
oh
17 years old.
really? So naalala mo pa. I
Medyo
think
iba na
yan.
yung sagot ko ngayon.
Oh, wow naman, ang galing-galing naman. Okay, because nowadays we are on the pandemic situations. What disadvantages at advantages ng pandemic sa ating Mother Nature?
Mm-hmm. So, of course, one of the many advantages that we saw that was caused by this pandemic is really the earth, the environment has really been able to breathe. And,
Mhm.
because of the lockdown, many lesser and lesser cars are actually on the roads, and therefore there is less air pollution, and that has actually been evidenced by our by studies. But
Yes,
then
exactly.
again, yes, but then again, there has also been a disadvantage. It's not just about letting the earth breathe, but at the same time, the disadvantage has been the production of more surgical masks and
Mhm.
PPEs. Those are a lot of those are plastics. So while there is an advantage to the pandemic for the environment, there's still a little bit of a problem with it because of the PPEs that we're producing. But I hope through
Mhm.
proper waste disposal, we will be able to mitigate that kind of problem.
Wow, oo, tama. You're right. Oo. Kaya tayo mga kababayan, we need to, dispose our, mga
Masks
mask,
properly.
surgical
Yes.
gloves nang maayos naman. Wag naman yung after
Mm-hmm.
you use it, tapon lang. Sometimes we Filipinos, minsan, sorry no offense, we Filipinos generally minsan hindi sumusunod ng mga protocol, mga rules and regulations. Tayo rin kasi, kaya nga, di ba sabi mo kanina, ang kalaban ng Mother Earth or Mother Nature is we human because sometimes we have lack of respect, with marami. Alam mo, takot lang ako magsalita, Sophia, kasi minsan baka na-shutdown ako kasi last time daldal ako ng daldal na shutdown yung aking live stream because
Ooh.
Facebook now is very sensitive when it comes sa mga
Yes.
wordings. Akala
Mm-hmm.
niya, basta sensitive ang Facebook. Kaya medyo, ako ngayon, tame, magtatanong. And syempre naman, I am fully satisfied about what answers you given to us. And
Thank
I'm pretty
you.
sure yung ating mga followers, doon sa ating mga followers na hindi nakapanood niyo yung gabi, you can click it again and again sa YouTube channel natin. Wala naman po yung bayad. Kung talagang susuportahan natin si Sophia, makikita nyo how she is intelligent and very good speaker. Good evening pala kay Miss J.M. Robles. Thank you
Hi, Tita
so much,
JM.
J.M. Alam mo, Sophia, si J.M. ay aming partner yan sa pageantry. Nagpa-pageant din kasi kami. And
Yes po.
I'm teaching modeling, catwalk, and pageants as well
Wow.
in the Philippines and in here
Okay.
also in Australia. At
Wow.
syempre, dahil nabanggit ko pala, kaninong camp ka pala, sino ang nagtitrain sa'yo?
Tita Rosel Flores po from Kagandahang Flores
Sa
Camp. That's me po.
KF. Wow,
Yes
syempre,
po.
kilalang kilala. Akala ko kasi Aces and Queens. Dalawa lang kasi yan eh.
Opo.
Oo. So, I'm pretty sure you're in the right hand. And your camp will gonna support you all
Yes.
sa iyong journey.
Opo. Very
If
supportive po
I
talaga.
have a questions with you. If you were given a chance to be the Miss Earth Philippines, what will you do after the crowning?
Mm-hmm. So what the first thing that I will do after I receive my crown really is to um move everything into action. So a lot of the things about my advocacy right now is still on paper. Like for example, the things that I will be doing for 𝗏𝗏𝗏 Eco Park, because we're still waiting for construction. A lot of those are just in paper for now. But what I will be doing first thing when I win the crown is to really mobilize a lot of my fellow Filipinos into environmental protection. And one of the many projects that I want to be able to do is, for example, to make a research about the dumagats of the Rizal area, because I believe they have been one of the best frontliners we have for environmental protection. So that is one of the biggest projects that I am looking forward to do once I become your Miss Philippines Earth 2021.
Wow. Sophia, you did mention Dumagat, okay? It's an indigenous people, right? Do you hear me? Do you hear me? Because you mentioned the
Opo.
Dumagat people.
Yes po, mga katutubo.
Yeah, I know these indigenous people. Are they living
Yes
in
po.
Tanay
Yes,
Rizal?
yes.
Oh, really? This is the first time, Alam ko yan sa history may dumagat, but I never thought na ang dumagat ay andyan sa inyo, sa Tanay.
Yes po, Rizal area po sila actually. Meron din po sa Montalban, and a lot of them are in Tanay, especially po dun sa mga kabundukan na area. Katulad po ng Barangay Kayabo, dahil ito po yung isa sa mga mabubundok din po na barangay. Nandun po karamihan ng population din ng dumagat. And
Oh,
I
I
believe
see.
that
I
they
thought it's,
were...
you know what? Kulang pa rin ako sa ating history because I thought that Dumagat people or the indigenous people of Dumagat is from Visayas area. Yun pala, andyan lang sa area natin.
Opo, opo. Actually, yun nga din po yung aim ko din talaga as Miss Philippines Earth. I want to be able to educate not only about environmental protection but about the indigenous peoples. Kasi sila po talaga yung kapag wala tayo, kapag po
They
tayo
need.
ay nasa Metro Manila.
You're the first
sila
person,
po.
you know what? You're the first person mentioning that. I never heard that so other beauty queens about the indigenous. Lagi ko naririnig na lang yung mga ikas sa Pampanga, sa
Opo,
Olongapo. But I never heard na yung dumagat indigenous people dyan sa Rizal pala yan.
Opo.
At no one ever na nagmi-mention yan dyan. Even, you know what? I always been attending fiestas, other festivals in that area of Rizal. At kilala ko yung ibang mga mayors dyan. Actually, you have this courtesy call from other mayors, the tallest guys, Mayor Tanwat ko.
Yes po, RM Tanhuatco is our mayor.
Yes, we met them last year. He's a very good-looking, handsome young mayor of Rizal. At lagi kaming umaati dyan. But I never heard this the Dumagat people na dyan lang pala sa Rizal naninirahan. And you are the first person na mentioning those people. I wish the local governments or the LGU or the non-government of Rizal are going to help them because I'm rooting for all the indigenous people kasi hindi lang naman tayo o yung mga mahihirap, yung mga street people ang dapat tulungan. Basically, they are the most people na kailangan nating tulungan to educate, to orient them at bigyan sila ng livelihood programs. That's the most important thing for them. Kung tayo nga ng mga edukadong tao, we work, no? We earn a lot or we survive, how much more sila na hindi naman lahat sa kanila siguro ay educated at nakarating ng mga higher educations, you know what I mean. I'm not a racist here or I'm not I don't have a discriminatory when it comes to people, but I think our government focusing on the social welfare and livelihood of the Filipino people. Yan.
Opo.
And since you are in the Miss Earth pageant, I'm happy that they are promoting the nature, the Mother Earth, tsaka yung yung pagpe-preserve nila ng ating yung kabundukan.
Opo,
yung mga natural resources natin. Sana hindi lang kayo ang organization ang mag-promote yan, kundi some other organization. Because during these times, we need to protect the Mother Earth. Kasi masyado na tayong polluted because we have a lot of people, a lot of waste materials, waste products coming from the human materials. So sana ipagpatuloy mo yung iyong advocacy not only during this pageantry.
Yes.
Yes. Because you know what? Some sorry, no offense. Alam mo ako, makritics ako kasi I always attending a lot of national pageant in the Philippines. Hindi ako tumitingin doon sa ganda ng isang tao. I'm always looking forward to the people who are heart doon sa kanilang ginagawa, especially those people who are advocate. Kasi yun ang pinaka-importante, to be a beauty queen, no? To be a title holder, you must be an advocate person. Hindi yung ganda lang. Hindi yung dahil magaling kang rumampa,
Exactly.
magaling kang mag-twirling, magaling kang, you know, what I mean is the pageant walk, the catwalking, andyan na yan, given na yan eh. Kasama na yan sa pagpapageant, being a beauty queen. But the most important thing is your advocacy and yung heart mo doon sa iyong pinopromote na advocacy.
Yes.
And lahat naman kayo magaganda eh. Lahat naman ng mga beauty queens, lahat ng mga models na nag-enter sa pageantry ay magaganda yan. Because you know what? Hindi ka naman pwedeng sumali na wala kang, kumbaga sa sundalo, wala kang pasabog, di ba? Yeah. Wala kang bala, you are not prepared. You cannot do that. Kasi may mga iba kasi na ilusyonada mga kababayan natin. Sorry, no offense ha. Ganyan ako magsalita. Very straightforward kasi ako. Some of our aspiring models or beauty queens, pag sumali na sa isang patimpalak, they want, yung talagang hindi tumataas kaagad yung kanilang pagtingin sa sarili. Hindi nila tinitingnan yung ano ba ang kanilang magagawa, paano sila makakapag-serve being as a title holder or a beauty queen. Okay? So for me, hindi naman sa binobola kita dahil interview kita, I'm rooting for you, and starting tonight, I will gonna push you on our social media because social media is very ngayon, malakas ang impact, nakakatulong talaga sa mga kandidata. Kasi some beauty queens are maganda na, intelihente, pero pag lack of exposure sa social media, nawawala sila. Hindi sila kasi masyadong nabibigyan ng chance or time ng mga, you know, ng ibang tao. Ang mga judges, they are only focusing on the social media as well. Hindi talaga doon sa during that day na kumaga, halimbawa nakuha ka nila sa top 20, pag-aaralan ka nila who is Miss 𝗠𝗶𝗀 ano ba ang kanyang mai-offer, ano ba ang kanyang maibibigay, o anong niya maitutulong sa ating organization, especially the organization. They wanted the beauty queens to become advocate and the voice of their organization as well, kasi yun naman ang importante, di ba?
That's true.
So ako naman, I'm happy at hindi na natin tatagalan pala, Sophia, ang ating, I know you're tired and you have a lot of questions. Oo. Pero may mga tanong ako, are you really prepared for this competition for August 8th?
Yes po, Direk, I am very prepared for this. I have been consulting with my mentors, of course, Tito Rogel, and I also have my mentors for Q&A, and of course, my core team. Sila po talaga yung pinupuntahan ko so that I will be very prepared for August 8th. In fact, we've already shot a lot of our videos that will be shown on the finals night, but I hope that whatever comes up na bagong requirements for the finals night, I know that we can do it on the spot. And of course, I have my video team as well na talagang at my beck and call, talagang ready sila for me. So I believe in terms of me having a village behind me, of course, so I have Sophia Angels headed by Ate Tintin Tiempo. Because I have a village behind me, I know na kahit anong mangyari, I'm really prepared for anything.
Wow! Thank you. Okay, water break muna tayo, Sophia, no? Let's have a break and we will right back after a few minutes. Okay, welcome back at Gusi Talks. I'm Derek Primo, all the way from Sydney, Australia, and we will give you back Miss Sophia Galbe, our Miss Earth Philippines Tanay Rizal representative. Ayan. Welcome back once again.
Hello.
Welcome back, Sophia. And we still have a lot of questions coming from our netizens. And shout out to Miss
Mm.
R.A. Anthony. Pa-shout out po, Sir Primo and Miss Mia. Shout out. And syempre, shout out daw kay Miss Sophia. Sophia, meron tayong fast talks. But because I just wanted to know
Ooh.
more from you. Pero konti lang naman. And syempre, dun sa, bago tayo mag-fast talk, siguro meron kang, you have a chance now to na magpasalamat sa iyong mga makeup artists, sponsors, and you can go ahead.
Yes, thank you so much po, Direk. Of course, thank you to Gusi Talks for having me tonight. Thank you to Tita JM for connecting me to Gusi Talks. Tita JM Robles, thank you so much po. And Tita, thank you so much for my sash, actually. Thank you, Direk Primo, for having me. Mia Gusi, thank you so much for inviting me tonight. And of course, to my core team, Tito Alvin Nogot, Mami Shai Mejia, King Jordan Maginang, thank you so much for always being there for me. And of course, to my video team, my production team, Mirror Studios Incorporated, thank you so much. To my fans, thank you so much. To my supporters, Sophia Angels, again headed by Ate Tintin Lisondra Tiempo, thank you so much for always being active in the comment section and cheering on for me. And of course, to my family, Mama, Papa, Bunso, thank you so much. Kasi I can always feel their support kahit na minsan malayo kami sa isa't isa, but even then talagang sila yung nagpapatatag ng loob ko. And of course, my business partners, Josh Bayabo and Edson San Juan, ayan, kasi nagtatampo na sila kasi hindi ko daw sila binibigyan ng credit. Ayan na ang aking mga drivers. Thank you so much. And of course, thank you to my K-Familia, Tito Rog, thank you so much for the mentorship, of course. And to all of the supporters out there, to my relatives from afar, thank you so much for taking your time, you're getting out of your way to comment and really show your support for me. Thank you so much. And of course, to my kababayans in Tanay, Sir Henry Reyes, and of course our tourism department head, Sir Jeff Pino, thank you so much for always being there for me, especially when I need venues, for example. And of course, to my kababayans in Barangay Kayabo, to Kapitan Antonio Bolaños, and to our IPMR, Romaranito, hello po. And again, yes, thank you so much to everyone. I appreciate all of your support.
Wow naman. Thank you so much, Sophia. And before anything else, syempre magpa-fast talk muna tayo, no? Para malaman natin sino ba si Miss Sophia Galvin. So our fast talk first questions is, do you prefer to be called beautiful or intelligent?
I want to be called intelligent.
Last thing you do before you go to sleep?
Before I go to sleep, I say a little prayer of thanks.
Wow. First thing you do before you do as soon as you awake?
The first thing I do is also say a little prayer of thanks that I am awake that day and alive.
Wow. Boxers or brief?
Boxers?
Ang tagal ha? Coffee or tea?
Mas comfortable. Ano po? Sorry.
Okay. Beach or mountain?
Mountain.
Gym or yoga?
Gym.
Wine or beer?
Wine.
Okay. One word that best describes you.
I think the one word that describes me is remarkable. You will always remember me wherever you
I
are.
always remember you. What is your lifelong dream?
My lifelong dream, I think, is to be a public servant. Whether that means being a politician or a beauty queen, I really want to be a public servant.
Wow. That's a very, 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 very lovely answer, Sophia. Are you single or not?
No po.
Oh. So you're available.
No, I'm not single na po.
Okay, akala ko available ka. Siyempre, being a beauty queen, siyempre maraming manliligaw yan. Kasi maraming humahanga, maraming, alam mo na. Kaya, sana, doon sa iyong better half or boyfriend or loved ones, wag magsiselos. That's my best reminders. Because we are on the entertainment industry. This is part of show business. pageantry is part of, sana walang mag-iiwanan. Hindi kagaya
Yes
ng
po,
iba
wala
pang
talaga.
quiz. Pag may pangalan na, iniiwan na yung mga boyfriend.
Ay nako, bawal yon. Mahal ko boyfriend ko.
Oh,
Oh!
sana. Promise mo yan, ha? Okay. Siyempre,
Yes
nakaka-touch
po.
din naman pag iniiwan, di ba? My question si Miss Mia, how will you know he is the one? Hala.
Interesting question. I think I will know when he is the one, when even if he's struggling or even if I'm struggling, I choose to be with him. I choose to fight against problems with him, together as a couple. I think being able to share with someone else's problems, with someone else's struggles, that is one of the best ways that you can know when that person is the one for you.
Hala, natawa ako. Ayan, kilala ko na ang iyong better half, si
Yes!
Joyce.
My
Bayabo.
love.
Hi, Joyce. Josh, eto ha. Sabi ko kay Sofia, lahat ng beauty queens pag kilala na nang iiwan na. Pero ito, balikan
not
mo kasi
me.
sumampa. Ito, my question, I hope you don't, hindi mo mamasamain. How long you been engaged with Josh? Ayan na, close na kami, close.
Well, we're not yet engaged to be married, pero we have been together as a couple for almost 4 years na po. So we're having our 4th-year anniversary on November 26.
Wow naman! Alam mo, ang sarap pakinggan yung mga nag-a-anniversary. Baka naman every month may anniversary din kayo.
Hindi naman po. Hindi naman po
Hindi
kami
naman.
pwede.
Is your parents, relatives are voted together sa inyong dalawa? Wala namang kontra?
Oo. Very supportive po. In fact, nandito po ako sa bahay ng parents niya right now kasi nag-dinner po kami kanina magkakasama. So sabi namin,
Wow
dito na tayo
naman! Ayan,
mag-live.
Diyos, saludo na ako sa iyo. I salute you, Diyos. Ganyan pala magmahal ang isang taga-Tanay. Ganun daw talaga.
yes.
Dapat kinikare talaga ang isang dilag para, hindi yung walang liliko, walang kakaliwa ka. Oh, yan. So, ako naiinggit ako sa mga couples na very, very successful ang relationship. I wish both of you ay ma-fulfill ninyo ang inyong, kasi mahilig ako manood ng mga Korean teledrama, yung mga comedy drama, mahilig ako niyan. Ngayon lang, during pandemic, kasi I have 3 weeks lockdown already here in Australia. By the way, shout out pala sa ating pinakamabait na pageant partners natin, media partners, si 𝗟𝗏𝗘𝗚𝗏. Ayan. Kilala mo ba siya, Sophia? Makukunan ka ng mga pictures ni 𝗟𝗏𝗘𝗏. Nako, talagang...
Before po actually, sa mga previous pageants ko, kaya ako po nakilala si 𝗟𝗏𝗘𝗏. Thank you so much po, 𝗟𝗏𝗘𝗏.
Ayan, sinusuportahan ka ni 𝗟𝗏𝗘𝗏. Napakabait yan. Very supportive sa ating mga kagaya natin. Ayan, may ebidensya na raw si Diyos. Ayan, kaya ikaw, Sophia. Anyway, thank you so much, Sophia. And of course, thank you so much for interacting, Diyos. Ako Tagalog na Tagalog ako kasi I miss talking in Tagalog. And medyo namamali lang ako, nabubulol ako. But I love, I love Tanay, I love Rizal Place. Talagang, andyan ang mga magagandang dilag ng mga Rizalin, ano ba tawag sa inyo? Sa Tanay?
Rizaleño po.
Rizaleño. Yes, I love going there. Shout out lahat shout out kay Januel Ramos, shout out lahat sa ating mga, kay R.A. Anthony, thank you so much for, kay John Abitria, shout out, ayan, thank you so much for supporting Miss Sophia tonight, and shout out as well to Miss Mia Gusi for giving me a job tonight. And yes, of course, to Mr. Rico Rosa, shout out. Ayan. Thank you so much for supporting us tonight. To Mr. Ruby Piñara, thank you once again. This is Gusi Talks. And yes, of course, baka may nakalimutan ka pa, Sophia, na pasalamatan.
So far, wala naman po, pero thank you as well na din to Flawlessly Gluta for all your beauty needs. Go to Flawlessly Gluta. Yan.
Wow.
And again, thank you so much to my support.
Ay, meron pa akong isang tanong. Sino ang iyong designer?
My designer is Tito Alvin Nogot, the one and only. So he has been my
Wow. Siya
designer
lahat ang
since
gumawa from long gown,
2017.
national costume,
Ay, no
and
po, no
swimwear.
po. Si Tito Alvin po for my gowns and some of my casual wears. And then si Sir, sasabihin ko na ba? Well, the cultural attire is on Wednesday naman na. So I guess it's not a secret anymore, but Patrick Kaiserena is my national costume designer, my cultural costume designer.
Yeah, because
And
some of the because some of the candidates are they're showing already the social media. Are you planning to post it in the social media as well? Your pasabog.
After po nila ipalabas on the live stream of Miss Philippines Earth, I will be posting my cultural attire as well. And of course,
Okay, last questions just for clarification about Miss Earth Philippines. Is this a virtual pageant or live?
Virtual pa rin po. Yes.
Virtual pa rin. Okay, so maybe you can plug the pageant before we
Of course.
go on. Okay, go on.
Yes, for all of you Earthlings, please watch out for the coronation night. Coronation morning of Miss Philippines Earth. That will be aired on August 8th. That is at 10 a.m. in the 𝗍𝗵𝗡 channel. So please watch out for that. And I also actually have my eco video presentation tomorrow at 7 p.m. Please watch out for my eco video because I really prepared well for that. And I hope that you will be able to appreciate Tanay more because of that eco video. And aside from that, we also have the intelligence round from Friday, I think, to Sunday. My batch will be airing on Sunday. And of course, the cultural attire competition on Wednesday, July 21.
Wow, thank you so much, Sophia. And you know what? I am very happy, and this is a great opportunity to interview one of the beauty queen of Miss Earth. At syempre, sa totoo lang, maganda ka. Hindi lang pang Miss Earth, pang Miss Philippines, Miss Universe pa ang dating.
Oh, thank you po.
Yes. How tall are you pala?
I'm 5'7" po.
Wow! Talaga? Wow.
Sakto lang
Ako,
po.
yes, no, matangkad ka. Sa isang ng babae category, you are tall already. And I'm happy for you. And you know what? Good luck and God bless. Sana ma-reach mo, ma-atim mo yung iyong hinihiling on August 8. And don't worry, in behalf of Gusi Talks and Primo Modelo TV and Primo Modelo Philippines, we will gonna support you. Okay, ganyan naman kami.
Thank you so much po. It means a lot to me.
Yes, we will post your beautiful photos on the social medias as well to support para pakita sa iyo na kami ay sumusuporta. And I am happy and grateful, and this is an opportunity as well sa amin na ma-interview ka. And I wish na lahat ng ating pinapangarap sa buhay ay marating natin. And to your relationship, good luck din sa inyo ni Diyos. Ayan.
Thank you po.
Binibless ko na kayo. At syempre sa iyong pamilya, thank you so much. Maraming salamat. And sana magkita ulit tayo. Okay?
Hopefully po.
If the borders are open in Australia, you know what? I'm eager na talaga akong umuwi ng Pilipinas because I miss a lot sa Philippines. At sana sa aming next pageant ay maging kasama ka namin bilang isang panauhing pandangal. Okay?
Oh, thank you po. That will be my honor.
Yes, of course. Okay? So, once again, to our viewers, Miss Sophia Galvez, the Miss Earth Philippines, Tanay Rizal, thank you and mabalus. Good night. Okay, welcome back at Gusi Talks, all the way from Sydney, Australia. I'm Derek Primo, and I would like to thank all the people who are watching tonight with our very special guest, Miss Sophia Galvez, who is rooting to be the next Miss Earth Philippines 2021. And don't forget to support her on August 8th on their coronation night. And to all the viewers who are watching, I am going to plug our upcoming coronation of the Mr. Glam International. This is a male pageant which is ongoing right now, and our coronation is starting July 25 to July 29. This is a 40 male models candidate from all over the world. So don't forget their pasabog. And yes, of course, I would like to thank all the media followers and supporters of Mr. Glam International. And yes, of course, to Mr. Lito Calion of Fab Manila. Thank you so much, Fab Manila. To Calvin Queens, thank you so much for supporting. To Mundo, Mr. and Miss Official, thank you so much. To Malaysian Pageant, the Mr.'s Crowns, the Pageant Folders, the Pageant of the World, pageant to Pija. And yes, thank you so much to all the pageant who are the Unimale pageant, the Mino, who are always supporting the candidates of Mr. Glam International. So once again, don't forget Mr. Glam International on July 25 and 29 for the coronation night. Okay? So I'm Direct Primo. Tomorrow we will give you another batch of beauty kings from Hari ng Pilipinas. So don't forget. Okay, shout out to R.A. Anthony. Thank you so much. Hope to see you soon. To Rochelle Balbino, thank you. Shout out once again. Thank you for watching. To yes, of course, to Josh Bayabo, and Mr. Rico Rosa. Thank you for watching tonight. And yes, of course, to Ruby Peñada, thank you. And syempre, ang ating the queens of all pageant, Miss J.M. Robles. Thank you for the support. And yes, Madeline Castillo, thank you. Good luck as well. Thank you. John Abitria, thank you so much for the very nice question. And yes, of course, to Mr. NJ Garcia Sapla, thank you. And to the KF, the best producers of Women of the Earth, John Brian Abutia, thank you so much. Eugene De Gracia Diaz the third, thank you once again. And Alexa Clara Junio, maraming salamat yan to support Miss Sophia Galvez, the next exciting, promising Miss Earth Philippines Tanay Rizal. Okay, so uh, also, I would like to promote our upcoming event, the Miss Glamour Look International, and yes, of course, the Little and Teen Glam International. And I'm hoping next year ay matuloy na. Yeah, nakikita niyo sa screen, the Miss Glamour Look International, which already has 45 confirmed models around the world. And yes, of course, the Little and Teen Glam pageant featuring the Mr. and Miss Teen Glam all next year, soon in Thailand. And yes, of course, who will be the next Mrs. Glamour Look of the Year International? So watch out, guys, our upcoming beauty pageant. Thank you, and maraming salamat. Tomorrow night, don't forget, Hari ng Pilipinas. Okay, bye-bye.